Wonderful. So I'm really glad to be able to speak to the club today about the Rotary International Presidential Initiative of Empowering Girls. So that's the title, and the big part to remember in that is that we're really talking today about empowering girls. When Rotary International President Shaker Mehta first announced this initiative, a lot of Rotarians were very excited about it, and they said, fantastic, we're empowering women and girls. And that's not quite right. We're empowering kids, and that's also wonderful, and we do that. But this initiative is specifically around making a difference in the lives of girls. And if you've been around the block in Rotary, and many of you have been Rotarians for a long, long time, you know that every year Rotary International presidents set presidential initiatives. And this year, President Mehta has 3, and they are Rotary Days of Service, the Each One Bring One campaign. We've heard that language before in Rotary, right? That's the notion that each one of us would work hard to find a new member to bring into Rotary. And then the third one is the Empowering Girls Initiative. And this is specifically meant to engage clubs to do projects that empower girls. And I'm going to tell you why that's so important. And when Brian asked me if I would come and speak to the club today, I was super happy to. And I know for a fact that this club already does tons of projects that would fit under the Empowering Girls Initiative. So that's what's really exciting about it, is this is not really new for this club, but I want to help you sort of reinforce what you already know about why it's so important. And I've got a few slides that I can share with you. So and I would also say some of these slides are geared towards a more global view, but as we know, there is so much good work to be done in our communities. So according to the UN, empowering girls includes 5 basic components. This is our ability to improve their self-worth, their right to have and to determine their own choices, their right to have access to opportunities and resources on their own, their right to have power to control their own lives, right? Both within their home and outside of the home, and their ability to influence the direction of social change and create a more just social and economic order in their communities and internationally. So empowering girls, it aligns with Rotary's areas of focus that is in our action plan. It hits on lots of high points, right? Healthcare and nutrition, ensuring access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene resources, preventing exploitation, supplying menstrual health and hygiene products. I'm speaking to this club on that. I know how much that matters to you. Providing access to basic education, skills training, and technology, and preventing and or raising awareness about child labor and child marriage. So lots of ways that it hits on our areas of focus, and super important work. So why am I specifically here today? Who said that I got to talk about this, right? I am a woman, I was a girl, but that doesn't make me an expert on any of this stuff. But I'm really thankful to be able to present about it. When Shaker Mehta announced that this was an initiative, every single one of the Rotary International Board of Directors said, absolutely, this is something that we care deeply about. This is important work for Rotary, and we are going to need help getting the word out on the club level that we should be doing projects specifically around this Empowering Girls initiative. And so the board of directors said, let's appoint some ambassadors to get the word out and to help clubs understand that these projects are important. So I was asked to be one of those ambassadors, and I serve as an ambassador for Zone 30, which is Indiana, Tennessee, Ohio, and Kentucky, and a little bit farther to the south. And I share that responsibility with my good friend and former DG classmate, Rana Poon. And we've all been doing this job for just a few short months, and we're learning. And the best part about doing this as an ambassador is we just want to build enthusiasm for the initiative. We want to get that word out. We want to share resources. We do zone level Zoom talks to say, hey, this club in my district is doing this project, or hey, this club needs help doing this. Here are some ideas. Because sometimes it's hard to get outside of our own thinking and figure out, oh gosh, this project that we've been doing for so long, if we tweak it just a little, it's actually an empowering girls project. Or we've got these ideas that that might be really impactful in our community. So that's what we're doing. And if you talk to other Rotarians, and if they're looking for a presenter or a project idea, please connect them to me, because right now I am literally just asking, can I please talk to your club? Can I please share this information? So I got excited. I scrolled too fast. So why should we focus on girls? Why is this so crucial, right? Let me give you just a few statistics. Girls face significant challenges in the world. And one of those is a preference for sons in some cultures. This leads to abortions, it leads to infanticide and other means to reduce the female population. And there's also all these traditional cultural expectations, right, that limit the time that girls have to study or to participate outside of their homes. And again, I'm not going to read from the slides, you can see those stats, but girls are also challenged with malnutrition on one side, obesity on the other, and eating disorders. These, especially in parts of the world like the United States, girls face a disproportionate amount of negative images in social media, in the media, when it comes to body image, and leads to, of course, more eating disorders and more mental health effects. Health and hygiene. This is a big one. One of the stats that I think is really interesting, because I mean, I'm from the generation, I grew up where my middle school health teacher, you know, I remember her diagramming how HIV was how you could catch HIV. And I remember like learning about that and thinking, will this ever be gone in our lifetimes? And we've made significant strides, but HIV has increased 31% since 1995 in girls ages 10 to 19. And again, that's mostly in third world countries, but really staggering statistic that could be really impacted by education. And lack of personal hygiene resources leads to school absenteeism, which leads to severe economic costs, both personally and societally. And I mean, I heard Jackson speak when we had, remember when we had the party at Mark and Jean's house? I love parties. But, you know, I remember Jackson telling those personal stories about struggles with menstrual hygiene products, and the work that you're doing, the money that you're giving, the grants, that is making a significant difference in the ability for girls to be able to go to school, to continue their education, and we can be really proud of that. But there's more work to be done, right? Again, I'm just giving a high level overview here. Child marriage. Child marriage leads to reduced educational attainment and reduced economic attainment, not only for girls, but for their families and for society as a whole. And then child marriage also leads to another issue, which is adolescent pregnancy. Right? Maternal and child health is one of Rotary's core 7 areas of focus. And you can see from the slide that pregnancy and children are the leading causes of death in girls ages 15 to 19, and their babies face higher risks. And this is a problem here in the US as much as it is globally. And then just hitting a little bit on education and skills. Basic education and literacy is being denied to some 60 million girls worldwide. And what we know is that if a girl completes her secondary education, the long-term benefits include lower fertility and higher labor force participation. That's a win-win, right? And the cost of interventions during adolescence or earlier, it tends to be much lower. It's cheaper, right, than the cost of interventions later in life. If we can get girls back in school, if we get them back on track, it not only is more economically efficient, but it's getting them on that path of financial freedom and sustainability even sooner. And in low-income countries especially, substantial gender gaps exist in basic education. They keep persisting, especially at the secondary level, where the completion rate for girls is just under 37%, which is much lower than their male counterparts. I know some of these stats are like really heavy, everybody, but we're going to talk about what we can do too. Don't worry, hang in there with me. Violence against girls, human trafficking is something that even impacts our local communities. It's not limited to education level, socioeconomic status, or other traditional metrics. I mean, 51% are women and 20% are girls. That's 71% of victims of human trafficking. And other violence against girls continues to be felt in our local communities as well. And I would just want to add that my Rotary Club just had, is it Melissa, I think, from Sojourn House? She came and spoke to our club, and what a great program. And I know that Bloomington North, I know that you did the literacy room, and I love seeing all those pictures, and they're going to do amazing needed things in our community. And I'm super excited to continue to learn more about the work that they're doing. It's directly impacting these things. So I just ran through that really quickly. And obviously that's not all of the problems, right? And I'm not here to tell you about the specific things that girls in our community are facing, because the best part about Rotary is that we know people, right? And we have connections, and we can hear about these issues. Say this new organization is coming in and it needs money and help and support. Or say we noticed that this program lost funding, or we need volunteers to serve a meal at Girls in STEAM night, and our volunteers fell through. Well, Rotarians are there to mobilize and make that difference. So Rotary can do a lot, and this club is already doing a tremendous amount of lot, right? But the best thing we can do is network and learn about these issues, connect with other people in our communities, and figure out how we can do more to impact the lives of girls. There's another piece to this presidential initiative. And this is where, if you've heard me talk about Rotary before, I think I always try to mention that Rotarians in general are super humble people, right? We just do the things, right? And we give the money, and we don't ask for a lot of recognition. And that's great. But it becomes hard for us to tell our story and to point to these great things that we do. You know, I think I always talk about how Rotary is like this kind of great secret in our communities, right? We do so much good, but not everybody knows about it. And Rotary International, we want people to know about it. I want people to know about it. And so one of the things that we can do is to put our projects into a global showcase. It's called Rotary Showcase. And I bet very few of us even heard about it until today, because, you know, like a lot of things, you only know about it until you need to use it. But if you go to My Rotary, there's a section called Take Action. And if you scroll down, there's a place called Rotary Showcase. And this is where we can put details and pictures about all of our Empowering Girls projects. We're trying to get some momentum around this so that years down the road, as Rotarians, we can say, we did this. This is good that we did in the world, and we've improved the lives of thousands, if not millions, of girls. So it's going to require a little work on our part. And selfishly, as an ambassador, I'm supposed to get clubs to put stuff in here. So I wanted to show you how it works. You go into the Rotary Showcase, and you can see here, this is just a snippet of a couple of projects that fall under the Empowering Girls hashtag or listing. And here's one. This is from India, and they refer to girls as the girl child. And so this is a project very much like what we're working on with Nyaka schools, right? So they're training girls on how to make menstrual pads, right? How to produce them and how to get them. And this is a perfect example of an Empowering Girls project, right? This is a different take on it. This is building an organic farm or organic garden shelter for girls who are victims of abuse, battery, and exploitation. So they're not only helping the shelter, right, to provide food for the shelter, but they're teaching girls usable skills that they can take home and share with others. So that's two examples of projects. What I would say is Rotary Zone 30 has 0 projects listed on the Rotary Showcase. But I know we're doing them. I know we've already done a whole bunch, and I know that we're going to do a lot more in the future. So I'm just asking, like this club, if you wanted to Zoom with me with a couple of pictures and some details about your projects, we could get a couple of projects in the Rotary Showcase. And just as a side note, because again, this is my second favorite club in the district, and you might be my first if you help me out here. I have a bet going with the other 3 zone ambassadors. We just had a Zoom call, and we don't have very many projects in there. And I told everybody that the first one of us to get 2 new projects put in, I would buy that person like a fancy dinner at the Houston convention. So like, I would like to buy that fancy dinner for Brian and I, not my other ambassadors. So I figure if we get him in first, I will have won my own challenge. So we could use any of the projects that your club has already done, especially like Sojourn House. I bet that would fit. So we just need some details and some photos that we can put into the Rotary Showcase. And again, the real reason behind this is we want to be able to show these projects to others so that they get great ideas too. There's lots of resources here. I can send this slide deck out if you need it, but you can go to the RI President's page. You can go to Rotary Action Groups or Rotary Showcase to get new ideas. I also think this club is never short on great ideas on your own. So take what you know, run with it. The projects that you're doing are Empowering Girls projects. And here's my kind of final putting a pin on it slide. And I hope it's maybe just a little bit inspiring. Like, the work that we do is important, right? This Empowering Girls initiative is going to change the lives of generations of girls. And what I can tell you is that Rotary International President-elect Jennifer Jones is also going to continue this initiative of empowering girls. And that's important, right? Because it's already halfway through the Rotary year, and I'm just now coming and talking to your club about this, right? So we need more time to get momentum. I hope that this becomes, maybe area of focus is the wrong word, but a flagship project that we can say when we talk about what do you do as a Rotarian? Well, I'm helping to eradicate polio. I'm bringing clean water around the world. I'm empowering girls, right? We can really make that difference, and we are, and we will continue. One other piece of really exciting news that I wanted to share with this club is that we are doing an Empowering Girls service project at the upcoming district conference, which is Saturday, April 9th at the Union. Everybody just cross your fingers. I know we know what's going on at the Union, and who knows, but we will proceed with this service project no matter what. We are partnering with Girls Inc. of Monroe County, and we are making, we need a better name for it, but right now we're going to be putting together period positivity pouches. So these will be really nice, sort of like, book-sized pouches in really cute colors. They're meant for teen and tween girls, right? And so we got lots of feedback, not from me, not from Brian, but from girls about what they're going to look like. And we're going to stuff those with menstrual hygiene products and probably some like chapstick and dental floss, maybe a toothbrush. And the folks at Girls Inc. will have those to give out to the girls. And we're also going to make like refills. I'm imagining they'll be just in Ziploc baggies so that you can, once you're done with 1 month's supply, you could easily go and request another one that would just go right in the pouches. So We will be asking Bloomington Rotarians to help us with this service project, right? And we'll be actively stuffing them, but we're also going to need donations of period products. So we'll be announcing a period supply drive coming up soon, and you can bring them in or send money and we'll buy them. But I'm really excited about this because it's just going to be a perfect Empowering Girls project. When we talked about it with Girls Inc., they were just like, really? Oh, we're so excited. So I'm glad to be able to tell you about that and more to come. So I think that is the end of my presentation, but if you have any questions, I just thank you for your time and attention. I'm going to stop sharing.
So Jessica, I'll just point out, I don't know if you saw Jean Dayton's message in the chat, but she was confirming that we do have good photographs from both the NIACA project and the Sojourn House event. So
perfect.
We'll get you that dinner. You can just send appetizers. You know, that'd be great.
Good. I was really hoping because those are two perfect projects. So that's good to know.
Is I don't know if it's fair to ask you this, but how is Girls Inc. operating right now? Because we were involved in a different project with them, and essentially they had to pivot because they closed. I mean, essentially they closed down.
Right. So they're back. You know, they're now an affiliate of the Shelbyville Girls Inc. And so they have minimal staff on the ground here, but they are, I want to be pretty accurate on this. What I heard from Marissa, their director, is that they are focusing on camps and some camps and then projects in the schools. So, you know, the model that I knew about before where it was kind of an after school program and they had the gym and they had some sports and volleyball, they sold their gym. They sold that during the pandemic, and they're going to focus on summer camps and in-school projects. And I think one of them is positive sexuality is one of the big ones. So they're very excited to be back, and I think more to come on that.
And then there was another question in the chats from Dr. Dayton. Does the It Takes a Village program project qualify for what you're talking about?
It could. I feel like, you know, we really talked about that as being more of a like education for parents kind of event. But we could try fitting it in and see if it, you know, you basically walk yourself through a Rotary Showcase and fill in the details. But even if it doesn't, we should still put it in Rotary Showcase as a maternal and child health project, because the other countries are beating the US in getting projects in Rotary Showcase. And if you know me, you know I'm like super competitive and I'm like, we are doing all this great work. We got to get it in there. So we can put that in there too. And we have wonderful photos of that.
I love the idea of being the first club in Zone 3 to load that up. So I guess just let us know, you know, what time frame works for you to try to get that in. Okay. I'm assuming what you're saying is we need to turn that info over to you and you upload it.
No, it needs to be someone from your club that Rotary.org thinks is a leader. You know, I hope you know what I'm saying there. You know how sometimes, well, it doesn't, like everyone says it has to be your president, but it actually doesn't.
Not Joe.
Yeah,
he's right there.
I don't know if I would call myself a leader subjectively. So I don't think Rotary.org has that belief. If they do, they are profoundly mistaken.
Sure. Okay.
There would be a few people in your club who would have access to be able to put it in. I actually can't do it for you. Though if I could, I would, believe me. So
I'm pretty confident as past president, I can do it. So if Jean and Jody or whomever wants to give me that information, I'll be happy to do that. What if it's a project that's between multiple clubs? Like, I know it's not an Empowering Girls, but Teachers Warehouse is an amazing project between the three clubs, more than the three clubs, because Brown County and others are involved. How do we do that? Can we have multiple club projects like that?
You'll be able to list partners in the, you know, so one of you, whichever gets in there first, would be the like originating club. I don't think anybody would care who that was. And then you can put the partners. There are a few, like the big, I don't know if you all know this, but zones 30 and 31, every single district in zones 30 and 31 put money towards a gender specific toilet block project in India. And they did it in honor of a current district governor who passed away this year. His name was Mark Anderson. And every single district governor said, we've got a little money to help with this. So that, and it, you know what? It's not even in Rotary Showcase yet. If I could, I would just put them all in, but.
I just saw in the chat that Jean said she'd be willing to do it too, I think.
Yeah.
If I read
Give it
that
a try,
right.
Jean, and I bet you can, yeah, you'll be able to do it, so.
Try before Sunday, we'll answer
Always
questions.
a case of patience with the website and my own abilities on the computer, but I'll absolutely try it because I've got photos of both projects.
So if you do, Jean, the one thing is, be on the lookout for a way to tag it as an Empowering Girls project. It's a drop-down menu, just like don't hit submit unless you feel like you've tagged it.
Okay,
And call me or Brian, and we'll
Jean,
walk
alright.
you through it.
Jean,
that
what
I
was
can do.
Jean, what was the date of the Nyack thing? And I'll look and see if I took any pictures.
It was summertime.
I was just trying to scroll through my photos, but I need probably a time
Yeah.
frame roughly.
I know
You
I've
know
got
what?
some bad photographs on my phone from that day, but I think it was I thought we did that in August, but let me jump back here. But in any event, Susan, we'll get you that. We can confirm that info with you.
And Susan, if you find photos, go ahead and send them my way. That would be great.
Well, if I knew what month, it'd be very helpful because I
Yep.
have lots of photos.
Yeah.
I do move out inspections. I have kids that play sports. So yeah, I'm just trying to scroll through there. I'm like, thanks.
Screen.
It was May 21st. That was, but I think it qualifies, Jessica, for this Rotary year because that was the money that we earned for it. So does that
Yeah.
qualify?
Yep.
Okay. And in fact, I don't know if you guys, I'm not very good. Look, here's, there you go. Jody,
I know that's like the one
Jessica,
picture I have.
having a good time.
Boy, we did have a good time.
I know I've got a photograph of the group listening to Jackson speak. But again, not the greatest pictures, but we can send them on.
Still,
So,
it shows a good crowd. So yeah, if everybody who has these photos from May 21st will send them my way, I will take it on myself to see if I can't navigate the system and get this loaded up.
okay.
We could probably ask some of the people over at Nyack if we can get some photos of what they're giving out and different things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be
Jody's in
ideal.
touch with the woman who spearheaded it on the ground in Africa. So Jody could definitely, I think, contact somebody and get some photos from there as well.
Because I mean, all the Rotary in action photos there are us taking action and drinking wine, which is a very important Rotary in action photo. But
Absolutely.
It's action
Our
fuel.
club has one of the biggest wine appreciation organizations in Rotary. So I think that qualifies.
we're second on whiskey. We need to find out how many is first and go aim for it.
Yeah.
Wine drinking is a place I do think I can assert leadership. You need a leader for the wine drinking. Got me for that.
Jean, I have like pictures of your beautiful appetizers from that night.
All right. Well, I feel like we're coming to a natural concluding spot. Does anybody else have any questions for Jessika regarding this or comments? All right. Well, we'll keep in touch with the group about our return to in-person meeting. And we just have some communications to send around for the group as it is. But we have a board meeting next week and look forward to crossing some things off our to-do list. So if there's no further information, I say go on and have a very good Rotary day.